How's it going, everybody? Elephant Ninja here, and today I'm gonna be reading the entire Bestiary in the Journey's End 1.4 update of Terraria, which also introduced the two new bosses, the Queen Slime and the Empress of Light. Now, before we get started on this list, I just want you to know that my Terraria still doesn't work. My Terraria is still not working. But luckily, I have been able to make some Lego items from Terraria. For example, as you can see right behind me, I got a Lego Mega Shark. Yeah, this is like a pretty amazing weapon. If you don't have this in hard mode, then yeah, try your luck against the Destroyer, and you should basically have the necessary souls of might to get this weapon. Yeah. And it's a really good weapon to have, honestly. It shoots insanely fast and has a 50% chance not to cost any ammo, so... yeah, that's a pretty amazing half-gun, half-shark assault rifle if I've ever seen one. Alright. Alright, I'll also try my best to put in timestamps on this video for all these different, creatures that appear in the game. Like, for example, NPCs, critters, dungeon, underworld, bosses. I'll actually try my hardest, okay? Alright. Let's go ahead and do this. Chapter 1, NPCs. The Guide. The Guide always offers useful advice and crafting recipes. His origins and unusual connections to this world remain a mystery. The Merchant. The merchant acts as a simple general store of sorts, providing useful starter tools and supplies needed for exploration. The nurse. The nurse's snarky attitude and poor bedside manner may be scary, but for a price, she will cure all that ails a wounded Terrarian. The demolitionist. Tread carefully around this dwarf. The demolitionist is an explosive fanatic and sells dangerous things that go boom. The Angler. The Angler, a rude fishing genius, sends others to find weird, rare fish. He rewards random items, entertained by any misfortunes. The Dryad. The Dryad is the last of her kind. She is connected with nature and can analyze its purity worldwide. She sells seeds, too. The Arms Dealer. The Arms Dealer has everything anyone could need to shoot things dead, from little round bullets to guns made from sharks. The Dye Trader. Eccentric and rather snobby to a fault, the Dye Trader has expensive tastes. He is passionate about the materials used in the dyes he sells. The Painter. The Painter can talk about all the different shades of colors with which one can paint the walls. He'll sell but a handful of them. The Stylist. The Stylist loves style, gossip, and hair. Aside from performing a miracle makeover, she sells some hair product as well. The Zoologist. The Zoologist, resident lycanthrope, adores animals. Her fox-like biology resulted from a cursed animal bite. The Tavern Keep. The Tavern Keep once managed a bar in another universe. He's here to help stop the Old One's army from conquering this world. The Golfer. The Golfer is a wise middle-aged man who sells all sorts of golfing equipment. He's got game and knows how to score. Goblin Tinkerer. Exiled from the rest of Goblin kind for being an intelligent pacifist, the Tinkerer sells tools for combining accessories into stronger versions. The Witch Doctor. It's unusual for a Lihzahrd to be outside the temple. Even more unusual are the voodoo things he sells. He prefers his jungle digs. The Mechanic. The Mechanic was imprisoned for her aptitude in engineering. She sells wiring and tools for putting together anything imaginable. The Clothier. Once trapped under a curse, the Clothier is the master of thread. If it's fashion that's desired, He's the man. He talks in a familiar way. The Wizard. The Wizard is an absent-minded, demented old man who dabbles in the arcane arts. He sells magical trinkets to train new apprentices. The Steampunker. The Steampunker has a particular taste for steam-fueled machinery and gadgets. She sells her gizmos with an endearing accent. The Pirate. Ahoy! The only good pirate captain is one that sells cannons and weapons to take out all competing pirate captains. Arrgh! The Truffle. Harnessing the hidden power of the glowing mushroom, the Truffle forges weapons and tools exclusively in his mushroom home. The Tax Collector. This grumpy tax collector has literally been to hell and back. Greedy to a fault, he's truly only concerned with money. The Cyborg. The Cyborg was built with the combined efforts of the mechanic and the steampunker to aid in rocket science and world defense. The Party Girl. Positive beyond comprehension, the Party Girl will use any excuse to celebrate. She sells party favors and flashy things. Santa Claus. Only present during a specific time of year, Santa Claus makes a big entrance and an even bigger, rather explosive exit. Ho, ho, ho! The Town Cat. Lazy, devious, might bring presents. Presents might have once been breathing. The Town Dog. A loyal companion to many, excitable and always ready for action. The Town Bunny. Guaranteed to keep the vegetable supplies in check. Might possibly become a hat. The Traveling Merchant. The flamboyantly dressed traveling merchant travels far and wide to bring unique cultural wares from time to time. The Skeleton Merchant. Most skeletons are out for blood, but not the Skeleton Merchant. He just wants to sell supplies such as rare torches and yo-yo gear. The Old Man. This hapless old man carries the burden of a heavy curse. It's said at night he transforms into a horrific demon that guards the dungeon. Chapter 2. Critters. Bunny. Fuzzy-wuzzy creatures that prefer safe, friendly locations. Bunny with a hat. Someone put a party hat on a bunny. It must be a real party animal. Explosive bunny. Not the typical garden variety bunny. This one has been tampered with and has an explosive temper as a result. Bunny slime. Is it a bunny in a slime costume, or is it a slime in a bunny costume? Halloween can be very confusing sometimes. Bunny Christmas. Judging by the outfit, Santa appears to have recruited some bunnies to be his little helpers this year. Bird. A simple white bird which enjoys a calm sunny day. Blue Jay. This little blue bird came looking for worms. Cardinal. A rare red-crested friend of the forest. Goldfish. A seemingly ordinary goldfish until it decides to rain. Squirrel. Fast-moving and erratic woodland creatures with grayish-brown fur. Got nuts? Red squirrel. Rare red-furred hyperactive rodents which scurry about the woods. Mouse. Mice squeak around harmlessly, looking for small insects in damp underground locations. Frog. Prefers bodies of water filled with thick growth, perfectly content both on land and underwater. Gold critters. Rarely critters are found coated entirely in gold. Shopkeepers will pay handsomely for these, or you can sell them off in cages. Grasshopper. It leaps tall blades of grass in a single bound. Fish are fairly attracted to these. Butterfly. Beautiful fluttering insects that love sunrises. Fish are attracted to these based on their color variety. Worm. A slick tubular invertebrate found hiding in rocks, dirt, and grass. Loves the rain. Fish are especially attracted to these. Dragonfly. A swift-flying insect which hunts mosquitoes. Comes in a variety of colors. Fish are somewhat attracted to these. Seahorse. A gentle critter which swims harmlessly in the ocean depths. Water strider. Glides elegantly along the surface of calm bodies of water, searching for smaller bugs. Fish are occasionally attracted to these. Ladybug. A brilliant red insect, often associated with luck. Fishing with these as bait may result in unwanted karma. Gold critters. Rarely, critters are found coated entirely in gold. They are worth great coin to shopkeepers, and fish absolutely love golden bait. Mallard duck. A waterfowl with beautiful plumage. Swims in the purest of water, quacking happily. Duck. A white-feathered waterfowl that swims in pure water and basks in the warm sun. Turtle. These slow, stoic creatures travel between lakes and dry land, carrying a hard shell on their backs for protection. Owl. A large, wise, predatory bird which hunts nocturnally from the treetops. Firefly. Appears at night in calm locations, illuminating the sky with strobing green light. Fish are fairly attracted to these. Enchanted Nightcrawler. Worms infused with fallen star magic glow with a glittering light. Fish are extremely attracted to these. Pink, green, and blue fairies. Glowing winged humanoid creatures the size of a butterfly, attuned to the world around them, they excel at finding shiny things. Rat. These fuzzy rodents sniff about in putrid locations, scavenging for food. They are avoided in fear of diseases they may carry. Maggot. An unsavory larval bug which feasts on dead, rotting matter. Fish are somewhat attracted to these. Amethyst, topaz, sapphire, emerald, ruby, diamond, and amber squirrels. Glistening squirrels who strayed too deep become ensorcelled with residual cursed energy retained in gemstones. Amethyst, topaz, sapphire, emerald, ruby, diamond, and amber bunnies. These colorful rabbits made their way so deep, their reaction to magic gems resulted in a coveted sparkling appearance. Snail. A slimy mollusk that thrives in damp, dark places. Fish are barely attracted to these. Truffle worm. An extremely rare, difficult to catch glowworm. A specific, powerful sea creature is insatiably attracted to these. Penguin. Penguins make their home in the coldest regions of the world, waddling around looking for tasty fish. Scorpion. Harmlessly scuttles around the desert looking for food. Fish are barely attracted to these. Black scorpion. Despite its menacing appearance, it is quite docile unless threatened or facing smaller prey. Fish are occasionally attracted to these. Grebe. An exotic waterfowl that thrives in the desert oasis. Pupfish. These fish prefer isolated extreme climates where competition is scarce, such as the lake beds of a desert oasis. Seagull. A larger bird that inhabits coastal areas. Watch out for droppings. Sea turtle. A soft-shelled reptile that prefers saltwater and marine prey. Dolphin. A playful sea mammal whose intelligence rivals that of humanity. Jungle turtle. Their hard shells camouflage them from vicious predators by blending in with the thick, jungly environment in which they reside. Sluggy. Slow and covered in a slick mucus. Fish are somewhat attracted to these. Grubby. Slimy yet satisfying. Fish are especially attracted to these. Buggy. A vibrant beetle-like bug. Fish are extremely attracted to these. Lava fly. A variation of firefly which adapted to the intense conditions of the world's infernal core. It mimics sparking embers. Hell butterfly. A solemn butterfly seeking blooms rooted in hell. Its wings glimmer with fiery veins. Magma snail. A unique species of snail which withstands extreme heat. Its boiling slime trail melts down most weaker surfaces. Lightning bug. Appears at night in blessed locations, filling the sky with flashing cyan light. Fish are especially attracted to these. Prismatic lacewing. Should one of these luminescent beings perish in the chaos of night, a sleeping tyrant is rumored to violently awaken. Glowing snail. A snail that has mutated to adapt to the glowing mushroom environment. Fish are significantly attracted to these. Chapter 3. Surface rain and windy day enemies. Gnome. A tiny long-bearded snake who resides in oversized trees. Becomes a lawn ornament when exposed to sunlight. Goblin Scout. The Goblin army sends lone soldiers out from the beaches to seek out colonies to conquer. They give warning with a tattered sigil. Green, blue, purple, yellow, and red slimes. A simple gelatinous creature that swallows anything and everything whole. It takes a long time to digest anything. Pinky. The smallest slime ever recorded. Their extreme cellular density makes them incredibly durable for their small size. They eat money. Windy balloon. Some enterprising slimes ride wind currents with balloons in an effort to find food. Pop their balloons to bring them back down to earth. Angry dandelion. All this wind can make just about anyone angry. Evidently, this includes otherwise harmless dandelions and their deadly seeds. Umbrella slime. The previous owner of this umbrella learned the hard way. Umbrellas are good protection against rain, but not against slime. Flying fish. Certain species of fish can gain the most peculiar abilities when it rains. They only like one thing about land dwellers: their flesh. Angry nimbus. When severe storms roll through, it is said that the skies are angry. This god in particular is especially livid. Demon eyes. That suspicious feeling of being watched may very well come true in the dark of night, when Cthulhu's minions roam the skies. Zombie. Leaving doors open may be an invitation for shambling brain eaters to enter the home, and nobody likes that. Zombie slimed. Sometimes a slime's victim will turn into a zombie mid-digestion. Walking around like that is quite awkward for both parties. Zombie with a torch. In life, this torch-wielding zombie joined an angry mob to hunt the undead. In death, it joined an undead mob to hunt the living. Raincoat zombie. Some zombies never leave home without their trusty raincoats. Comfy and dry, they pursue human flesh no matter the weather. Possessed armor. Whatever possessed this suit of armor to suddenly walk around and start killing everyone? It lacks a corporeal body. Werewolf. Cursed by the moonlight, these menacing lupines were once human. Now they feast on their loved ones instinctively. Wraith. Souls belonging to the darkest of hearts were once sealed in the world's core. Now they roam the night to add to their kind. Chapter 4. Blood Moon and Graveyard Enemies. Corrupt Bunny. Bunnies are pure beings that normally resist all forms of corruption, but will succumb under the effects of a blood moon. Corrupt Penguin. During a blood moon, the normally docile penguins fall under the hostile influence of the corruption. Vicious Bunny. Bunnies are pure beings that normally cannot be afflicted by crimson, but will succumb under the effects of a blood moon. Vicious Penguin. During a blood moon, the normally docile penguins become infested with the contagious growth of the crimson. Blood Zombie. With enough exposure to a blood moon, zombies become twisted and cursed with ever-flowing blood pouring out from their rotten flesh. The Groom. Tall, handsome, and dead. This unlucky fellow did not survive his wedding and is ready to take it out on everyone. The Bride. It's uncertain if the bride was wed before or after her death, but the story ends tragically for anyone who crosses her path. Zombie Merman. Mermen may be rare and exotic demi-humans, but they can still die, and still come back from that a changed merman. Clown. His origins unknown, this creepy fiend balances himself on a ball while hurling explosive destruction at everything around him. Blood Squid. Summoned in small groups by the Nautilus to aid their master in battle. Thick are the streams of blood squirted from their bodies. Blood Eel. A large worm-like demon dripping with blood, both its own and its victims. It's a bloody nightmare of a fiend. Corrupt Goldfish. Goldfish mutate and become violent when exposed to a blood moon, allowing the corruption to take hold of them. Vicious Goldfish. Goldfish become grotesque, blood-sucking fiends of the crimson when exposed to a blood moon. Drippler. Demon eyes become erratic under a blood moon, sometimes twisting together into a dripping cluster of cursed blood and eyeballs. Chattering Teeth Bomb. A playful prank gone wrong, clowns will unleash these explosive chompers on their enemies. Also great for parties. Wandering Eye Fish. For mysterious reasons, fish are known to mutate with other living things or even man-made objects. This one is especially violent. Hemoglobin Shark. Half shark, half goblin, completely murderous. One of the numerous reasons to just stay home during a blood moon. Dread Nautilus. An enormous shelled water demon which feeds off the negative energy of a blood moon. Brutally responds to being pested. Maggot Zombie. Wanders aimlessly to infest the living with undeath, unaware of its own maggoty infestation. Raven. Nevermore, 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 nevermore. Ghost. During the most harrowing times, these apparitions float aimlessly through the depths to steal the life from those they envy. Chapter 5. Underground and Cavern Enemies. Toxic Sludge. Distantly related to the common slime, the toxic sludge takes down its prey with potent toxins and a disarmingly toothy smile. Giant Worm. These itty-bitty diggy dogs dig through the earth and take focused spelunkers by surprise, causing unwanted distress. Digger. Exposure to the effects of ancient magics flowing throughout the cracks of the world causes unusual rapid growths in giant worms. Baby Slime. Clinging tightly to their parents and rarely seen, these miniature slimes will swarm anyone who harms their mother. Mother Slime. Critical to the life cycle of the slime species, These oversized jiggling masses are often found carrying their young deep underground. Cochineal beetle. Found in deep dark caverns, these large beetles are sought out for their deep blood red secretions stored in their scaly exoskeleton. Skeleton. Who needs muscles, skin, or even eyeballs? Skeletons get by with just the bones on their back, just as deadly as more fleshy foes. Salamander. An unusual amphibious bipedal lizard which inhabits the dark caverns. When threatened, it spews a highly corrosive acid everywhere. Crawdad. A subterranean form of crayfish which scuttles along the cavern floors, searching for prey to clip apart with its powerful pinches. Undead miner. There's evidence of spelunkers having explored the caverns in the past, as well as evidence of them having died doing so. Skeleton archer. Skeleton archers have a keen eye, despite the general lack of eyes. Distance offers little protection from their blazing arrows. Nymph. Masterfully deceives explorers by posing as a lost girl, then attacks with ferocious might, bloodlust in her eyes. Armored skeleton. Remnants of a long-lost expeditionary force, these stout warriors mindlessly patrol the caves in which they died. Rock golem. Dense-minded livingstone formation. Awaits weary cavern dwellers to pound them into juicy rubble. Tim. An enchanter in life, this funny fellow won't give up his robe or wizard hat without a fight. He prefers warmer caverns. Rune wizard. Tim's more powerful and much better looking older brother. He too prefers the heat, but not excessively. Cave bat. They're small, hard to see, and swiftly flap about in unpredictable ways. They often carry diseases such as rabies. Giant bats. The oversized cousins of cave bats, these bats are more dangerous and can confuse their enemies with their bites. Blue, green, and pink jellyfish. That strange tingling sensation in the water may be the unwelcome surging of electrical death from a brainless jellyfish. Swim with care. Mimic. Talking to a chest doesn't cause craziness, but if the chest answers back, it may cause death. It still contains rare treasure regardless. Giant Shelly. To overcome their slow speed, Shellies have developed the ability to hide inside their spiked shell and hurl themselves at their foes. Lost Girl. Naked and afraid, this girl stands still, deep in the world, as if waiting for someone to rescue her and lead her to the surface. Granite Golem. Strong are the magic spirits which inhabit the granite masses deep below. This type in particular taking on a humanoid shape. Granite Elemental. Earth elementals manifest through many forms by taking on the properties of different materials, such as this hardy granite. Hoplite. In the ruins of an ancient civilization now deeply buried, some of its spear-hurdling soldiers still walk its marble-adorned paths. Medusa. An ancient monster with a petrifying gaze. The snakes which grow on her scalp like hair grant her these powers. Spore Skeleton. Skeletons meandering through more moist caverns become hosts for glowing fungal growth, greatly empowering them. Fungi bulb. When the glowing fungus is ready to spread, these bulbs will sprout to spread its spores to other locations and hosts. spore bats. The tables have turned on a variety of rabid bats, themselves en route with a deadly fungal infection. Wall creeper and black recluse. They have 8 legs, 8 eyes, and 8 ways to cocoon and feast upon an unsuspecting victim. Chapter 6: Snow and Desert Enemies. Ice slime. Slimes that spent too long in Arctic temperatures may begin to partially freeze, developing a shifting layer of ice on their surface. Frozen zombie. Zombies found in snow biomes are often bundled up in winter clothing. It doesn't help any, they're still dead cold. Ice golem. Sub-zero temperatures, blinding snow flurries, and being blasted apart by an icy construct are some of the dangers of blizzards. Wolf. Living in the harshest of climates, these savage lupines hunt in the dark of night desperately for sustenance. Spiky ice slime. This ice slime has large ice shards in its mass from excessive exposure to the cold. Somehow it is able to launch these at its prey. Cyan beetle. Hardy to extremely cold temperatures, these beetles contain a desired bluish fluid which can be used to dye textiles. Undead Viking. Long before there were pirates, stories tell of powerful Vikings who raged the seas. Their remains roam the icy caverns below. Snowflakes. A strange round furry mammal with an unusually large protruding nose. They are extremely lightweight. Armored Viking. The most elite Vikings were worthy of the strongest armor. It seems that it wasn't terribly effective, given their state now. Icy Merman. Mermen rarely stray far from the ocean. Those that do can become lost, wander into cold caverns, and become icy undead fishmen. Ice bat. As if bats weren't enough of a nuisance already, ice bats can freeze flesh solid with a touch, leaving their prey defenseless. Ice elemental. Water elementals become icy when dense, strong magics accumulate in the coldest places. Their frosty shards freeze all. Ice tortoise. Like their jungle cousins, ice tortoises are an unexpectedly serious threat, possessing surprising speed and mobility. Vulture. Built to survive the desert heat, avian scavengers such as these will peck apart those who come near their carrion. Sand slime. Deserts are very dry, but the sand slime seems to have successfully adapted to the harsh environments by becoming a pile of living sand. Antlion larvae. Freshly hatched from their eggs, larval antlions should not be underestimated. Though young, they are still very aggressive. Giant antlion charger. The soldiers of the antlion species, antlion chargers ferociously chase after intruders with a surprising speed. Mummy. With the sands transmogrified by outside forces, those put to rest in the desert, whether good or evil, now rise to maim and kill. Ghoul. Wandering the dark caverns below the desert ruins, ghouls are the desiccated husks of zombies preserved by the arid environment. Basilisk. Sturdy as a rock, these lizard-like beasts roam the desert in search of food. Their hardened bodies make them formidable threats. Tomb crawler. The desert is home to one of the largest varieties of worms across the land. It has a voracious appetite for careless explorers. Antlion. When antlions are nesting, they hide in the surface. To defend their eggs, they projectile vomit hard globs of sand at trespassers. Sand poacher. These unnaturally large scorpions have adapted to swiftly pursuing their prey along the walls with their sharp, venomous tails. Giant antlion swarmer. Antlion swarmers patrol their nests with a watchful eye. Should anyone threaten their eggs, they will defend them fiercely. Dune Splicer. The world's largest, most deadly worm, strengthened by ancient magics, it can devour a spicy Terrarian quicker than they realize. Angry Tumbler. Powerful winds have blown this tumbleweed around the desert, and it is none too pleased. They roll faster with the wind than against it. Sand Elemental. The most intense sandstorms draw forth powerful earth elementals. With this feminine form, her tornadoes tear all asunder. Sand Shark. In ancient times, a saltwater river once ran through the deserts. These powerful creatures evolved to survive in the now dry sand. Lamia. By the time glowing red eyes appear in the darkness of the desert caves, it is already too late. The Lamias have found their prey. Chapter 7. Ocean, Jungle, and Meteor Enemies. Crab. This hard-shelled coastal creature could snip the toes right off a man, among other things. They are not to be trifled with. Sea Snail. This unusually large snail makes its home deep in the ocean. Its mucus can be manufactured into a purple dye. Shark. Once these ocean predators catch a whiff of blood, they become relentless and unstoppable in their ravenous pursuit. Squid. A botanical marine creature which discharges a thick black ink when threatened. The ink is collected for aesthetic purposes. Snatcher. A sharp-toothed plant with a taste for human flesh. It has the ability to hide inside the mud and reach over great distances. Giant flying fox. An oversized cousin of the bat found only in the jungle, giant flying foxes hunt the night skies looking for prey. Duckling. These large sapphire-shelled fleas leap around incessantly. They can drain the blood content of one man within seconds. Spiked jungle slime. Frequent consumption of the jungle's toxins and thorns has resulted in a slime covered in venomous spikes. Lac beetle. These scaly insects thrive in thick subterranean foliage. Their secretions stain many materials in a beautiful violet color. Dr. Bones. This particular zombie has a knack for finding historical artifacts, but has a terrible disdain towards snakes. Bee. Found in hives and nests all throughout the jungle, these tiny pests will swarm an adventurer at every turn. Hornet. Aggressive flying insects which swarm the jungle depths. Their venomous barbs discharge over great distances at high velocity. Moss hornet. The empowered flora of the jungle has merged with these species of hornets, strengthening their exoskeletons and stingers. Moth. Rarely, exposure to jungle toxins causes certain moths to mutate to an enormous size. They release a valuable dust on death. Angry trapper. When a man-eater consumes enough human flesh, it undergoes a cocoon-like metamorphosis into a far deadlier form. Jungle bats. These small, annoying creatures aren't to be underestimated. A deadly end awaits for those swarmed by these fangy rodents. Piranha. Just one of these sharp-toothed fish can easily end a life. Luckily, they tend to swarm their victims in large groups. Life is grand. Anglerfish. Some anglerfish are content to lie in wait for their prey, but these are perfectly happy to aggressively chase down an underwater meal. Arapaima. These enormous fish thrive in the jungle waters near veins of unstable magics, which make them unusually strong and hostile. Giant tortoise. No one takes the giant tortoises seriously, not until they come hurtling through the air, a spinning spiky ball of death. Jungle creeper. The itsy bitsy spider climbed up a jungle vine. Down came a hapless explorer, and the spider got to dying. The end. Meteor head. When meteorites strike the surface, their fragments lay scattered for the taking. Some pieces are alive and will attack. Chapter 8. Dungeon, Underworld, and Sky Enemies. Dungeon Slime. Slimes in the dungeon became powerful by feeding off the cursed energy throughout the place. They seem particularly attracted to keys. Angry bones. Cursed with undeath, the former inhabitants of the dungeon roam endlessly through its halls, seeking a victim for their unending fury. Blue armored bones. Disciplined and relentless, the marching bones unceasingly pursue their goals, sundering anything or anyone in their way. Skeleton sniper. These eagle-eyed sharpshooters let nothing escape their crosshairs, part of an elite military unit in their past lives. Tactical skeleton. With thick armor and mighty boomsticks, it's clear these bones are prepared for a siege, part of an elite military unit in their past lives. Skeleton commando. Rocket-powered and fueled with rage, these cursed skeletons prefer the nuclear option, part of an elite military unit in their past lives. Hell-armored bones. The fiery glow of the Molten Legion is unmistakable. With their red-hot armaments in hand, they blaze a trail through all those in their way. Rusty armored bones. Through use and neglect, the rusted company's weapons are jagged and rough, inflicting terrible bleeding wounds upon their foes. Bone Lee. It's said that centuries ago there was once a clan of ninjas that hid in the shadows of the world. It seems they're long dead now. Paladin. In distant history, these mighty undead knights once guarded a prosperous city before a massive curse befell them. Dark Caster. Doomed to watch over the dungeon, these mages teleport to confuse their prey before striking them down with a blast of water. Diabolist. The undead who bear the diabolic sigil wield flames as intense as any in the Underworld, consuming all in a scorching inferno. Necromancer. In life, these sorcerers bore the necromantic sign of their order, and they shall continue to do so forever, even in death. Ragged Caster. With their cursed magic, the members of the Ragged Brotherhood leave their victims helplessly lost in utter darkness. Cursed Skull. Exposed to dark rituals, this skull has begun floating around on its own, chasing the living. Its touch leaves its victims defenseless. Giant Cursed Skull. No one knows where these giant skulls came from, but like their smaller cousins, they seek out and curse the living with their magic. Dungeon Guardian. A lethal sentry that stands watch over the dungeon's gates. Those who are deemed unworthy to enter shall not pass. Dungeon Spirit. Sometimes highly concentrated ectoplasm gathers inside the more powerful of the cursed inhabitants of the dungeon. Lava Slime. Due to the heat of the Underworld, these slimes have taken on the properties of lava. Slaying them is difficult and dangerous. Tortured Soul. Sentenced to an eternity of punishment for his lifelong greedy ambitions, this man has long been corrupted into a demonic state. Bone Serpent. Many serpentine dragons once ruled hell, but long ago shed their obsidian scales. A skeletal husk is all that remains. Fire Imp. A lesser demon imbued with hell magic, capable of teleporting and hurling phantom fireballs towards their foes. Hellvat. What's worse than a rabid, fast-flying, and annoying flying rodent? One that is on fire, of course. Demon. Demons are the infantry of the Underworld. Unlike their lesser brothers, they cast shadow magic rather than hell magic. Voodoo Demon. Higher-ranking demons can possess a voodoo doll of the Chosen One, whose soul is linked with the world's guardian himself. Red Devil. Conjuring potent spears of dark magic, these elite demons are a serious threat to any who dare enter their abode. Wyvern. A colossal dragon-like creature unleashed along with the ancient spirits. It rules the skies with its unrivaled might. Harpy. Winged demi-human women defend their territory against invaders by impaling them with their razor-sharp feathers. Martian Probe. Sensing growing power on the planet, otherworldly beings send space-age technology to scan for advanced life forms. Chapter 9. Corrupt Crimson and Hallowed Enemies. Slimeling. The still animate severed pieces of an injured corrupt slime, Slimelings can still put up a fight and have strength in numbers. Corrupt Slime. Steeped in the power of corruption, these slimes can survive being cut apart into smaller pieces, unlike their untainted brethren. Eater of Souls. Birds from the corruption as a being of pure malice, its sole instincts are to pursue, punish, and kill. Corruptor. Like a cancer, the future creatures born from the corruption mutate and grow into bigger, more deadly forms, which discharge acids. Devourer. Worm-like monstrosities are the corruption's most favored creatures, tunneling underneath unsuspecting victims. World Feeder. Ancient magics have unleashed the dark influences that gave birth to the Eater of Worlds, producing smaller but just as deadly worms. Clinger. In the depths of the darkest corruption lies cursed fire-belching botanical nightmares stretching from the very walls themselves. Slimer. The Slimer has become airborne with wings of unknown origin. The wings are easily knocked off with force, depriving it of its flight. Cursed Hammer. Magic through the pure hatred of the corruption, this weapon flails about, attempting to smash anything that breathes. Corrupt Mimic. Mimics which fall to corruption grow larger and more powerful as a result. They can be birds from ordinary chests by force. Pigron. This exclusive dragon pig hybrid has excellent stealth capabilities despite its rotund figure. It is uncertain how they came to exist. Bone Biter. In ancient times, a saltwater river once ran through the desert. These powerful creatures evolved to survive in the now dry sand. Vile Ghoul. Ghouls twisted by the corruption ooze a nasty green bile that ignites on contact with skin, scorching their prey with cursed flames. Crimslime. Taking on the consistency of congealed blood and flesh, Crimslimes seek out and digest more raw material for the Crimson. Face Monster. It would be unwise to face off with one of these unfeeling, hungry mutations. Their mouths are large enough to devour all things. Chimera. The most common horror to be born from the Crimson. It seeks to consume pure things with unrelenting hunger. Blood Feeder. Like the piranha, These swarming fish thirst for blood. Birds from tainted blood themselves, their hunger is truly intense. Blood jelly. Jellyfish swimming in the bloody waters of the Crimson become infected, converting them to its all-consuming cause. Floaty gross. These buoyant terrors of the darkest Crimson depths most definitely, without question, are both floaty and gross. Ichor sticker. Filled to the brim with powerful ichor, these squid-like abominations spew their corrosive bile fluid at their prey. Crimson Axe. Ensorcelled by the Crimson Collective, this weapon moves about and chops its enemies by its own will. Bloodcrawler. Most spiders operate independently, but once touched by the Crimson, Hive will coordinate together to consume life. Harpling. These hyper-demented slug-like fiends serve the Crimson Horde with an unstoppable appetite for blood and flesh. Crimson Mimic. Mimics, which are enthralled by the Crimson, are empowered dramatically. They can be birthed from ordinary chests by force. Blood Mummy. The blood-dripping organic matter in these mummies display far better preservation than the rest of their ilk. Tainted Ghoul. Ghouls infested by the Crimson leak vile ichor from their mouths, weakening the defenses of their foes with every bite. Desert Spirits. Ancient magics corrupted the minds of the once friendly desert djinns, releasing them full of hostility from their lamps. Rainbow Slime. These blessing-infused gelatin menaces glow vibrantly in a rainbow of hues. As a result, they require a constant liquid intake. Pixie. A larger, more luminous form of fairy. Pixies provide the Hollow with more blessed light and aid in the cleansing of the land. Gastropod. Touched by the blessing, these nocturnal slimes evolved into a levitating snail-like creature which spits powerful beams of light. Unicorn. These majestic single-horned equines storm angrily through the hallowed land in search of lowly intrusions needing to be cleansed away. Illuminant Slime. Slimes exposed to the light of the Hallow's crystals begin to emit that very same light, glowing brightly in the darkness. Chaos Elemental. Once living beings infused by the blessing, they erratically make chase with an uncontrollable surge of luminous power. Illuminant Bat. Blessed with the prismatic light of the Hallow, the Illuminant Bats are a vibrant pink blur arcing across the darkness of the underground. Enchanted Sword. Animated by the blessed light of the crystals, it will slice through anything to cleanse the world's evils. Hallowed Mimic. Mimics struck with the blessing surge with energy and become powerful. They can be birthed from ordinary chests by force. Dreamer Ghoul. Ghouls cleansed by the Hallow possess a psychedelic saliva that renders their victims confused and distracted by visions and mirages. Chapter 10. Mushroom and Lihzahrd Temple Enemies. Spore Zombie. The fungus controlling the minds of these zombies wants only one thing: brains. This is very convenient for the zombie. Anomura Fungus. These crab-like creatures scuttle about in glowing mushroom fields, heavily infested by the fungal spores. Mushi Ladybug. This aggressive species of ladybug is quite at home near glowing mushrooms, living symbiotically with the fungus. Giant Fungi Bulb. When the glowing fungus is ready to spread, These bulbs will sprout to spread its spores to other locations and hosts. Fungo fish. Some fish exposed to glowing mushroom spores become a curious mushroom jellyfish hybrid, glowing softly in the watery depths. Lihzahrd. A reclusive race of reptilian folk found exclusively in the mysterious jungle temple. They look primitive, but are quite advanced. Flying snake. Kept as pets and guardians by the Lihzahrd race, the flying snakes will attack any who trespass on the temple's protected grounds. Chapter 11. The Goblin Invasion. Goblin Peon. Common foot soldiers of the Goblin army, these foul creatures are good for little more than cannon fodder and breaking down doors. Goblin Thief. Quick strike units of the Goblin army, these pesky foes specialize in nimble movement and close quarters combat. Goblin Archer. Lending range support to the Goblin army, archers keep a distance and pick off distracted and overwhelmed foes. Goblin Warrior. The backbone of the Goblin army infantry, these heavily armored soldiers can take tremendous damage as they march undeterred. Goblin Summoner. Gifted in the darkest of magics, she summons unfathomable shadow flame ghasts through a powerful hex. Goblin Sorcerer. As primitive as they are, some goblins have the potential for manipulating magic shadow energy through a form of hexing. Shadow Flame Apparition. The Shadow Flame magics are powerful spiritual remnants of twisted goblin ancestors, wrought from powerful summoning. Chapter 12. The Old One's Army. Old One's Skeleton. Small armies of these skeletons are summoned from the ground by dark mages, loyally serving their master's will. Etherian Goblin. A unique goblin species from Terraria, they are not related to Terrarian goblins, the ferocious foot soldiers of the Old One's army. Etherian Goblin Bomber. Hurling bombs with reckless abandon, these sappers serve the Old One's army with maniacal passion. Kobold. Rigged with an explosive payload, kobolds have no regard for safety. They eagerly blow themselves up, hoping to take their foes with them. Etherian Javelin Thrower. These bulky brutes are awkward and ungainly, but their javelins are still razor sharp, and their aim is deadly. Wither Beast. Wither Beasts emit a defense-sapping aura from the crystals on their back. While rooted in place, they heal rapidly. Draken. Etherian reptiles in service of the Old One's army. Powerful beasts, they are capable of spewing deadly purple flames. Ogre. A tall, hulking demi-human from the Old One's army with unfathomable strength and vitality. He carries a big stick. Kobold Glider. Taking the explosive approach to a whole new level, Kobold Gliders soar the skies, seeking to bring death from above. Etherian Wyvern. Etherian wyverns come in a variety of shapes and sizes, and behave more like bats than the majestic wyverns of this world. Dark Mage. A small levitating sorcerer from Etheria who wields dark magic and can even raise fresh minions for the Old One's army. Betsy. A vicious Etherian dragon who leads the minions of the Old One's army that found their way to this world. Etherian Lightning Bug. Lightning bugs from Etheria aren't just named that for their pretty lights. These ones blast their foes with shocking bolts of electricity. Chapter 13. The Pirate Invasion. Pirate Deadeye. Nobody knows if Deadeye refers to their precise aim, or the fact that one of their eyes is indeed dead, like their targets. Pirate deckhand. They are either washing the deck of their ship of seaweed and ale, or wiping the dirt with the faces of unsuspecting Terrarians. Pirate crossbower. Some wee lasses aren't content staying at port waiting for their men to return from a raid, so they join in on the deadly fun. Pirate corsair. Once mercenaries from a distant land, corsairs brandish deadly scimitars with unyielding skill and a cutthroat agenda. Pirate captain. A pirate captain's love for riches is only rivaled by his obsession with heavy gunpowder and large rampart-shattering cannons. Parrot. A pirate's best friend, the parrot, will tear the eyes out of any greasy landlubber with its sharp, pointy talons. Flying Dutchman. When the pirates face strong opposition in their pillaging raids, they bring their majestic floating galleon as backup. Cannons away! Chapter 14. Martian Madness. Brain Scrambler. These Martian soldiers brandish crude laser weaponry that releases dangerous short-range radiation, hence the protective helmets. Ray Gunner. The elite specialists in the Martian invasion force are equipped with more precise and deadly laser rifles, effectively snipers. Martian Engineer. Martian soldiers who lack combat ability may instead be deployed for their mechanical aptitude, constructing turrets on the field. Martian Officer. Lacking offensive weaponry, officers in the Martian forces favor defensive measures to focus on relaying tactics to the soldiers. Giga Zapper. Martians who show great potential in close combat are equipped with powerful energy spears that can atomize anything. Skutlix. Native to the Martian homeworld, these creatures function similarly to horses. That is, if horses could fire lasers from their eyes. Grey Grunt. Martians are conscripted into military service, and those who do not make the cut are sent out unarmed to distract the enemy as fodder. Martian Walker. A wonder of Martian technology constructed from the strongest metals and infused with biological components. Tesla turrets. Named after a historic Terrarian, these turrets are built by Martian engineers and rain devastating energy upon anyone nearby. Martian drone. The data collected from these drones are sent back to the mothership's moments before they self-destruct onto their foes. Skutlix Gunner. Elite ray gunners often ride these powerful alien creatures into battle as cavalry. If their mount dies, they will pursue on foot. Martian Saucer. An advanced flying saucer from somewhere well beyond this world. The destruction from its weaponry is unimaginable. Chapter 15. Solar Eclipse. Fritz. Rumors speak of a small-minded hunchback who assisted in mad science. This small fellow reacts unpredictably when approached. Frankenstein. Built from parts of deceased Terrarians, this stout monster resulted from a crazy man's desire to create life with his own hands. Creature from the deep. Said to have emerged from the blackest lagoons, these fishmen lash at their victims with unmatched submerged mobility. Swamp Thing. Creeping from the depths of the darkest swamps, this algae-dripped beast desires to drown away anyone in his path. Dr. Manfly. Part man, part fly, all doctor. He's brought his most volatile and dangerous chemicals, and he's buzzing to try them out. The Possessed. A Terrarian girl possessed by the most evil of spirits, she gains superhuman abilities and behaves both arbitrarily and violently. Psycho. This masked killer's quiet demeanor and cunning ability to hunt allows him to ambush his victims without being detected. Butcher. Soulless and cruel, this pig-masked psychotic killer brandishes a powerful chainsaw in which to dismember every living thing. Vampire. Whether he is a man who turns into a bat or a bat who turns into a man, one thing is for sure. He's out for blood. Lihzahrd. A powerful zombie-like creature whose eye can see for miles and blow away opponents with powerful lasers. Nailhead. An intelligent being who seeks out souls to steal, utilizing nails from his own body both as a weapon and as defensive measures. Reaper. The Reaper's list stretches endlessly with the names of those who will soon depart this world. His sickle will make sure of that. Deadly Sphere. By means unknown, this silvery metamorphic sphere levitates about on its own. It moves about quickly, often producing spikes. Mothron. A behemoth of an insect attracted to the eerie anti-glow of a solar eclipse. With a rapid gestation period, it multiplies quickly. Baby Mothron. The creatures which burst from the eggs laid by Mothron can be as deadly and as relentless as their daunting mothers. Chapter 16. The Pumpkin Moon. Scarecrow. Possessed by vengeful spirits of the harvest, these scarecrows are out to cause mischief and mayhem galore. Splinterling. Morning woods reproduce by snapping cuttings from their bodies and thrusting them into the soil. Splinterlings are the result. Poltergeist. The intense, hateful energies emanating from these spirits grant them the ability to move objects, truly for the purpose of killing. Hellhound. Most certainly not a good boy. This vicious demon dog is more than eager to guide living beings to the Underworld with every bite. Headless Horseman. This menacing nightmare rides out into the night to harvest living souls on his seeing eye horse, for he has no head of his own. Morning Wood. These enormous murder trees nightmarishly stomp about, prepared to shower endless fiery destruction upon all life. Pumpkin. A pumpkin has many faces. A pumpkin will murder all with many sharp blades. A pumpkin is king of the harvest. Chapter 17. The Frost Moon. Ho, ho, ho. Zombie Elf. Elves that used to work for Santa, but have since been zombified. They don't complain much, so they're still pretty good helpers. Gingerbread Man. A gingerbread man seeking vengeance for his long-eaten brethren. He may look yummy, but this is one tough cookie. Elf Archer. These aren't your typical elven archers. Tinkering all year long, they are excited to gift you with the hottest new arrows this season. Nutcracker. Bringing his massive chompers to bear, the Nutcracker frolics through the wintry night. Nuts aren't the only thing he can crack. Krampus. Every year, Krampus is tasked to punish all of the naughty children, but he's taken the day off to participate in this mayhem instead. Yeti. An ill-tempered ape from cold, snowy regions to the north. They do not appreciate festivity, so they've come to spoil all the fun. Present Mimic. Surprise! The most unexpected gift this holiday season. The present mimic is a nicely gift-wrapped box of teeth and death. Everscream. If trees could scream, this evil evergreen would do so constantly. Deadly are the ornaments hurled from its branches. Ice Queen. If this icy towering monstrosity wishes for someone's soul, they'll surely let it go, right from their cold, dead hands. Santa NK1. This jolly bad boy wants to stuff everyone's stockings with the gift of their entrails. This cranky Kringle's gone postal. Elfcopter. The elves aren't just flying toy helicopters. These are fully combat ready. All their inventing finally paid off. Flacco. These ferocious flakes are the frozen minions of the Ice Queen. Where this sinister snow falls, so shall her icy judgment. Chapter 18. Halloween and Christmas enemies. Hoppin' Jack. This particular pumpkin seeks revenge for being carved. His hardy leaps become quicker the more he is carved into. Demon Eye in a costume. No one knows who dressed these demon eyes up in cute costumes, but the whole process hasn't made them any friendlier. Zombies in costumes. Wearing costumes isn't fooling anyone. These zombies are clearly way too old to be trick-or-treating. Skeletons in costumes. Skeletons need to wear very elaborate costumes during Halloween, or else people think that they're dressing up as skeletons. Present slimes. A perfectly gift-wrapped bundle of slime. A wonderfully deadly present for any festive occasion. Christmas zombies. Even zombies can celebrate the holidays. Their festive outfits are just right, but their holiday spirit could use some work. Chapter 19. The Frost Legion. Snowman Gangster. While the world's inhabitants celebrate festivities, gangster snowmen party by slaying everyone with their Tommy guns. Snowballer. Nobody underestimates the throwing arm of this disturbed member of the Snowman Mafioso. He's a real slugger. Mr. Stabby. This stone-cold yet maniacal gangster never snuffs the celebrating do-gooders without bringing along his lil pokey. Chapter 20. Lunar Pillar Enemies. Predictor. The cosmic power held by these humanoid warriors grant them psychic abilities, in which they use to accurately shoot down foes. Evolution Beast. Celestial power fuels the aggression of these violent beasts, allowing them to run down those who trespass the pillar's area. Brain Suckler. These psionic squid-like beasts levitate with celestial energy and latch onto the head of their prey, disrupting brain functions. Nebula Floater. These brain-like celestial beings have psionic capabilities, phasing through space and summoning powerful optical minions. Dracomire. These celestial beasts harness the power of the sun, releasing violent flares towards any intruders nearing the pillar. Selenian. These acrobatic celestial warriors can deflect incoming threats while spinning with their solar-infused blades. Dracanian. These highly aggressive celestial soldiers carry a large fiery spear that can melt nearly anything it penetrates. Crawltipede. Wrapped in celestial energy, this worm-like creature seems invincible. Having no eyes, it seeks vibrations through the air. Stroller. These humanoid celestial monsters assault their foes by rolling up into a ball and charging them with their sharp, fiery spikes. Colrite. Resembling a large sentient meteorite, Colrites are infused with celestial energy and will charge at anything that moves. Dracomire Rider. Many Dracanians ride the beastly Dracomires as a form of battle steed. Should the Dracomire be slain, they will pursue on foot. Alien Larva. The larval stage of the alien hornets. They may seem weak and harmless, but if ignored, they will evolve into powerful beings. Alien Hornet. These flying insectoids utilize wormholes to ambush intruders near the celestial pillars. They hunt in pairs and may swiftly evolve. Vortexian. The cosmic energy surging through these warriors builds up until their untimely demise, resulting in an explosion of lightning. Storm Driver. These alien soldiers carry a versatile arsenal of celestial rifles and cosmic accessories that allow them to defy gravity. Alien Queen. The final evolutionary stage of the alien hornet. They fire powerful disruptive energy at their prey and give birth to many larvae. Stargazer. This slow-moving celestial soldier fires cosmic rays at unsuspecting invaders, defending the pillar without hesitation. Twinkle Popper. This beastly celestial arachnid rapidly spawns swift and relentless offspring to distract its prey as it prepares to devour them. Milky Way Weaver. The celestial energies of which this worm is born give its body and tail near unstoppable power as it twists through the skies. Star Cell. A biological single-celled organism that divides and multiplies rapidly with the limitless power of celestial energy. Flow Invader. A cosmic jellyfish-type creature infused with abundant celestial energies, which summons smaller minions to serve as its weaponry. Chapter 21. Pre-Hardmode Bosses and Minions. Eye of Cthulhu. A piece of Cthulhu ripped from his body centuries ago in a bloody war. It wanders the night seeking its host body and revenge. Servant of Cthulhu. Young demon eyes newly birthed from the Eye of Cthulhu, brought forth to protect their master by any means necessary. King Slime. Slimes normally aren't intelligent, but occasionally they merge together to become a powerful force to swallow all things. Eater of Worlds. Conceived from the bottomless malice of the corruption, this mighty abyssal worm tunnels wildly to devour all in its path. Brain of Cthulhu. A piece of Cthulhu torn asunder, this vile mastermind pulses with agony and aids the Crimson to an attempt to avenge its master. Creeper. Manipulated through the hive mind of the Crimson, creepers serve as the brain's eyes and orbit around it for defense in numbers. Skeletron. The disembodied bones of a former tyrant pulsed with a hatred so strong it left behind a mighty curse which guards the dungeon. Queen Bee. This highly aggressive monstrosity responds violently when her larva is disturbed. The honey-laden hives are her home turf. Wall of Flesh. Serving as the world's core and guardian, the towering demon lord exists to keep powerful ancient spirits sealed away. Leech. A worm-like parasite spit forth from the wall of flesh, filled with the lifeblood of its host. This blood has healing properties. The Hungry. The wall of flesh's many mouths, attached by bloody veins. As a last resort, they can tear away and hungrily chase down threats. Chapter 22. Hardmode Bosses and Minions. Queen Slime. Hallowed slimes consolidated into a haughty, crushing force adorned in dazzling crystals. She is rumored to grow wings. Crystal Slime. The blue spectrum crystal slimes specialize in growing and ejecting pointed crystal shards from their gelatinous bodies. Bouncy Slime. On the pink side of the crystal spectrum, These crystal slimes pop off tumor-like gel growths to assault their enemies. Heavenly Slime. Crystal slimes on the purple spectrum grow wings, much like their royal creator, becoming aerial threats. Retinazer. Belonging to a pair of mechanically recreated Eyes of Cthulhu, this one focuses its energy into firing powerful lasers. Spasmatism. Belonging to a pair of mechanically recreated Eyes of Cthulhu, this one chases at high speed, exhaling cursed flames. The Destroyer. A mechanical simulacrum of Cthulhu's spine decorated in laser-armed probes, which detach from its body when damaged. Probe. A singular probe detached from the Destroyer's body serves as a remote laser battery, often in a swarm of other probes. Skeletron Prime. Mechanically reconstructed for reviving Cthulhu, this Skeletron has more arms than ever before, and a variety of fierce weapons. Plantera. A dormant yet powerful floral guardian awoken by the fallout of Cthulhu's destroyed machinations. Its reach spans the entire jungle. The Empress of Light. Beneath the Hallowed's cleansing blanket lies a vengeful fey goddess bent on scrubbing the land of any and all impurity. Golem. A remarkable display of ingenuity constructed by the Lihzahrd clan. Powered by solar energy cells, it is ready to guard the temple. Duke Fishran. An aquatic pigron mutation from the depths of the ocean who surfaces in search of a rare, savory type of worm. Sharkran. Duke Fishran's nature as a form of chimera causes its offspring to emerge more shark-like, which he uses as minions in battle. Lunatic Cultist. A fanatical leader hell-bent on bringing about the apocalypse by reviving the great Cthulhu through behind-the-scenes scheming. Lunatic Devotee. Utterly devoted, lunatic devotees unfailingly worship their deity, even when threatened with death. Fear only makes them worship harder. Blue Cultist Archer. Sworn to protect the cultist ritual, these robed archers will fight to the death, defending the lunatic devotees. Ancient Vision. A vision of a deadly omen wrought forth by a powerful cultist. Often appears with reckless cosmic summoning of wyvern spirits. Phantasm Dragon. Wyvern souls are entwined in the atmosphere of the world. Powerful magics can summon them through the veil with physical form. Nebula Pillar. Representing a stormy celestial body known as Nebula, this tower holds the seal, locking away a terrifying tyrant. Solar Pillar. Representing a flaming celestial event known as solar flares, this tower holds the seal for locking away a terrifying tyrant. Vortex Pillar. Representing a deep celestial void known as Vortex, this tower holds the seal for locking away a terrifying tyrant. Stardust Pillar. Representing a glittering celestial remnant known as Stardust, this tower holds the seal locking away a terrifying tyrant. The Moon Lord. The mastermind behind all terrors which befall the world, freed from his lunar prison. Practically a god, his power knows no limits. Well, guys, I can happily say that we have finally finished reading the Terraria Bestiary. It probably took over an hour, which was an insanely long read. Sorry for that, guys. Sometimes these entries are like repeated. I tried to shorten it down as little as I could, of course. I really hope you guys didn't mind it though. and enjoyed all the amazing reads. I'll be sure when editing the video to put the timestamps of all 22 chapters that I put in the video, so that you can just like skip ahead and get to your favorite ones, from chapter 1 NPCs to chapter 22 hard mode bosses and minions. Yeah. This was so amazing. I really hope you guys did enjoy it as well. Elephant, slice that like button, subscribe today to join the Elephant Ninja Clan, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody!